Welcome to Scare Theater, and today I'm going to be talking about Sad Satan, which was requested by Cannibal Zombie Killer. And here's the scary picture of the day. This one was sent in by CreepyStuff689. He's on deviantart.com, so check him out. And without further ado, here is the video. Sad Satan may not be the best horror game out there, but has definitely gained a lot of popularity and unnerved a lot of people. The game got people's attention after a YouTuber named Obscure Corner Horror uploaded a Let's Play of the game, which was supposedly sent to him by a subscriber who wishes to remain anonymous. The game supposedly originated on the deep web, but whether this was its actual origin is unknown. Some people speculate that Obscure Corner Horror is actually the one who made the game, but I doubt that since he claims the game was sent to him by a subscriber. We know that he's telling the truth because Patricia Hernandez wrote an article on Kotaku.com about Sad Satan, in which he talks about interviewing the subscriber who sent the game to Obscure Corner Horror. So this leaves us with a few options. Either Obscure Corner Horror could be posing as the anonymous subscriber that sent him the game, or he and the anonymous informant are working together, or the anonymous subscriber created the game and sent it in for publicity. Now, I really doubt the last one is true, because if the anonymous subscriber really did want attention, I doubt that he would actually request to remain anonymous. The game is said to be riddled with viruses, and a lot of people are even saying the game was created as a way to distribute child porn. I really doubt any of this is true, and you'll see why later. On July 30th, a YouTuber named Some Ordinary Gamers, aka Mutahar, uploaded a Let's Play of Sad Satan, which he received from a link sent to his email. The game begins with a title screen that simply says Game Title, along with weird music playing in the background. Once the game actually starts, the player just walks through a maze-like hallway, where at one point, strange audio can be heard playing. A picture then appears of some kids around a guy in a Santa costume. As the game continues, the player just walks through the hallways as several gory images of dead children appear on the screen. Near the end of the game, screaming can be heard in the background. After this, the player is taken to another hallway with strange music playing in the background. At this part of the gameplay, Mutahar ended up getting sick from the music, and this is the end of the game. First of all, I want to address some of the sources of the game played in Mutahar's playthrough. Not that it really makes too much of a difference, but I think it's worth pointing out. The weird music playing on the title screen is I Love Beijing Tiananmen, played backwards. The strange audio heard in the hallway is Rhapsody number stations played backwards. And a lot of people think that the screams heard in the game are real, but to me they sound really fake. If you go to freesound.org, you can find screams that sound pretty similar. Now, I'm not saying that freesound.org is where the creator got the screaming audio, but it proves that this type of screaming you heard is not hard to imitate. I'm not exactly sure where the audio playing at the end of the game is from, but I'm not sure why Mutahar got sick from it. I played the clean version of the game, which was literally the exact same thing, but without the gory pictures, and I didn't get sick from the music. PewDiePie even played the game, and he was completely fine. One thing that I still find odd though, is that the gameplay from Mutahar is very different from the gameplay that Obscure Horror Corner posted. Mutahar finished the game in under 11 minutes, whereas Obscure Horror Corner had to divide the video into 5 parts. So clearly, what Mutahar played was not the actual Sad Satan game, and so far I haven't seen anyone but Obscure Horror Corner play the actual Sad Satan game. The fact that Obscure Horror Corner is the only person to have gameplay of the actual game would support the theory that he is behind all of this, but once again I'm not really sure. It's also a little bit odd that no one seems to be able to find the original game anywhere, no matter how hard they search on the deep web and the clearnet. So did it just disappear off the web with Obscure Horror Corner being the only person to ever get their hands on it? The whole Sad Satan mystery isn't really completely solved yet, and this whole thing might just die down before it actually gets solved. But here's what I think. From what I've seen, this game might have just been created by Obscure Horror Corner to get publicity, just like many others have said. His anonymous informant was either himself or someone who was in on the whole thing. I think the fact that the full game cannot be found anywhere except for this channel heavily suggests this. Of course, no one will actually be able to find the game if he never releases it. So what do you guys think? Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the flip side. There is a legend on the internet that describes a disturbing video that goes by the name of Satan's Sphinx. This video was allegedly banned by the US government because it contained satanic messages that would cause the viewers to go insane and eventually commit suicide. The supposed video is said to contain extremely loud sounds, gory imagery, and whispering noises. The full video apparently lasts 3 minutes and 49 seconds. This legend has gained a bit of popularity over time. It has been talked about on 4chan and other forums, there's a fan film made about it, and even a creepypasta, which is most likely fake, was written about it. As far as actual information about the video, there really isn't anything to be found. Many people will say this lack of information is a result of the government trying to censor it. My goal here is to try and find a little more information on this legend, regardless of whether or not it is real. On Illogicopedia and the Unexplained Mysteries wiki, there are a few theories laid out behind the Satan Sphinx legend. One was that this was a myth made up by people afraid of MKUltra, which was essentially a mind control project taken out by the CIA. Another theory was that Satan Sphinx was simply a nickname given to a specific snuff film that collectors were looking for. This particular theory mentions that the film originated in Italy. Finally, the most popular theory that I've heard is that this film is used by the government to torture prisoners. I guess the contents of the video are so graphic, it could be used as an interrogation method. This picture is also supposedly a frame taken from the Satan Sphinx video, but I'm not sure how accurate that actually is, since I have seen this picture used in the context of many other things before. I did a reverse image search on the picture, but wasn't able to find any actual origin. Now, all the information we just looked over is good and all, but it still doesn't really lead to anything. It's not really clear how any of these conclusions were made, and we still know virtually nothing about the video, other than the type of content it supposedly contains. On both the wiki pages I mentioned earlier, there actually is a YouTube video listed that is supposedly showing the actual Satan Sphinx video. It is said to have been uploaded in 2006, but unfortunately, the video no longer exists. The writer of the page claims this is because it was removed by the government. I decided to look into that claim a little more by pasting the link into the Wayback Machine. I found an archive of the video back in 2010, and guess what? The video was just a video of a 911 call. It has nothing to do with Satan Sphinx. Even the comments confirm this video depicted nothing more than a 911 call. So, either the writer of the wiki page lied, or they were just misinformed. Once again, we're left with essentially no information about the Satan Sphinx film. Still, I want to dig deeper. Even if this is fake, it has to have an origin point. So, I decided to do some research and attempt to find the oldest reference to the Satan Sphinx legend. After looking through forums and doing some Google searches, I found what appears to be the oldest reference to Satan Sphinx, and it's actually a bit chilling, to be honest. It's a Yahoo Answers question that was posted on May 10th, 2009, where a person simply asks if anyone knows anything about the Satan Sphinx film. There's only one response from someone named David G. PhD. All they said was, "Sometimes it's better to let sleeping dogs lay. There's a reason this movie was banned. Stop trying to find this movie." I feel like either the poster of the question or the one person who responded hold the key to the origin of this myth. A little more than a month after this Yahoo Answers question was posted, someone made a thread on the Audioholics forum asking if anyone had any information on the film. As you would expect, no one was able to provide any information about it, and not many people really took it too seriously. Satan Sphinx is definitely a pretty interesting legend, but it isn't the first of its kind. There are several different legends that follow this format of a lost video that depicts something so horrible that whoever watches it will go insane. One of the most popular variations of this type of legend is the Grifter, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. If you haven't, I've made a video about it that you can actually check out if you want to. Although Satan's Sphinx is interesting, it's questionable whether this is actually real, considering the lack of evidence and the fact that it isn't exactly an original concept. Regardless, I'm still going to be looking into this from time to time to try and at least find its origins, so if you have any information, feel free to email me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side. This is going to be a very short video, and likely the final video I make about Satan's Sphinx. In the past year, I've made 3 videos talking about the legend of Satan's Sphinx. To be very brief, it's a lost video said to have been banned by the US government for causing people to go insane and commit suicide upon watching it. My first video I made about this, I concluded it was nothing more than an urban legend, but still tried to find out where the legend originated since it has been around for so long. In a later video, I mentioned how I was approached by someone who claimed to work with a company that created subliminal videos, Satan's Sphinx being one of them. According to them, it was a project they had worked on that ended up not being effective, and all the rumors about it being satanic were false. The video was called IST-801. For more details on this, you can go back and watch the videos I made about Satan's Sphinx. Now here's where the new information comes in. In February, I received an email from someone who asked to remain anonymous, claiming they were the creator of the Satan's Sphinx legend. Many years ago, him and a few friends made up the whole thing as a joke creepypasta. This still frame from the Satan's Sphinx video, which we later found out to just be an album cover for Hellhorse, was chosen by the creator because it was their favorite band at the time. They later go on to say that IST-801 is also fake, and the closest they ever got to making a Satan's Sphinx video was a video of a children's cartoon with a red overlay and 3 songs playing in reverse. Interestingly enough, the way the legend originally went was that the CIA created a brainwashing video that was supposed to lead to depression, mass murder, and then suicide, but for some reason, these details have been left out as the story gained traction. Finally, he addresses the Yahoo Answers question that I brought up in the first video. He's not the one who made that Yahoo Answers post, but he also has no idea who did make it. He ends the email by saying the reason he's coming out about this is because he's sick of hearing about his creation that he's not particularly proud of. Now, I've taken into consideration that this person could just be lying to me, but I don't really see the motive behind that. They asked me to censor their email, so they definitely aren't looking for attention. In addition, nothing that he told me sounds beyond belief, like a lot of the other emails I've received. This sounds satisfying to me. It looks like we finally discovered where this whole thing began. I'll have a longer video out in a little bit. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side. On New Year's, I released an analysis of a legend by the name of Satan's Sphinx. To recap, Satan's Sphinx is the name of an alleged video that was banned by the US government because it would cause people to go insane and kill themselves. In my video, I pretty much came to the conclusion that this film did not exist, yet I still wanted to find the origins of the actual legend, and didn't quite know where this picture came from. It's been a while, but I have gathered a little bit more information, so here's what we know so far. If you have not watched my original video, you should probably go watch that first. First things first, I'll start off with the most definitive information I found since that video. This picture was supposed to be a still frame taken from part of the original Satan's Sphinx video. As mentioned before, I've actually seen this picture used in the context of other things as well. More specifically, there was a rumor going around that the boy in this picture went missing in the 80s, and this picture of him was found in an abandoned parking lot. I received an email from one of you which contained the actual origin of this picture. It's actually just a cover of an album called Decade of Dust by Hillhorse. Any claims about this picture being of a kidnapped boy or a still frame in the Satan Sphinx film are false. In my original analysis video, I mentioned that this Yahoo Answers question was the oldest existing reference to Satan Sphinx I could find, which led me to believe this is also where the legend originated. My guess is that both the person who asked the question and the person who answered the question were either working together to start this legend, or they were even the same person. I tried to get in contact with either the person who asked the question or David G. PhD, which is the guy who answered the question, but since this question was 8 years old, I was not able to find a way to contact either of them. I literally can't even access or see the name of the profile of the person who asked the question, and David G. PhD keeps his account private. A few people who watched my video left some comments on the Yahoo Answers question, but it doesn't seem like they got a response either. Honestly, I'm stumped on how to get in contact with any of them, if it's even possible at all. Finally, I got a few leads to their email. I use the word lead very loosely since, well, you'll see. I got 2 claims from people who actually claimed they made the original Satan Sphinx video. Yeah, crazy, I know, but I wanted to at least look into it anyway. The first claim was a little more realistic than the second one, but still not very believable. They went by the generic name of John Smith and claimed they are part of a company that specializes in psionic and subliminal research. The video was supposedly a test subliminal binaural video. It contained tones that could cause panic and dread, which led to the rumor that the video was satanic. He claims the company discontinued the video simply because it was ineffective and it had nothing to do with the government or suicide or anything like that. The original video was supposedly called IST-801. Although I don't believe this person, for reasons I'll give in a moment, I'll admit their explanation of this was very clever since it doesn't sound too over the top or anything. Still, I asked them more about the company, and the more they told me about it, it seemed like they just wanted me to advertise their website for them, which seems to be their true motive. I did, however, ask them if they could provide me a copy of the original video. He said he would look through the archives to find it, and ever since, he never sent me the video. The second person who claimed they made the video was more unbelievable than the first one. They said they made the original Satan Sphinx to get revenge on their friend for being mean to them, but didn't know the video would make them kill themselves. Not only is that claim really ridiculous, but the email was also riddled with flaws. One of the biggest flaws is that they said this picture was from the original video, and that it really was a picture of a boy that was kidnapped, which we know is a lie since it's actually an album cover. Furthermore, they later confessed to lying about their friend committing suicide from the video, just to see if I'd read the email. So, that's really all the additional information I found out about the origin of Satan Sphinx. Nothing too substantial. I'm not sure if I'll be making another update on this, but if I do, it'll be because I find some type of breakthrough. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.